Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones! How are you today? As you may have seen from this channel in the past, sometimes when video games announce new characters, I find them so endearing that I just have to drop everything I'm doing and talk about them for a bit. Most of these characters come from games or series that I'm already pretty familiar with, but since my knowledge of Street Fighter is, shall we say, lacking, I mean, I can barely do a Hadouken to save my life, I'm bringing in a ringer today. So to help me discuss the 9 reasons why I love Menat, please welcome my pal Leon from EXPodcast.
He's really bad at fighting games, folks at home.
I really am, Leon, so let's get started. 1. With so much of the story of Street Fighter V feeling like a step into the future, Menat showing up as Rose's apprentice worked surprisingly well. She strikes me as a genuinely good example of a legacy character.
Yeah, you know, Menat's introduction to the Street Fighter series worked out really well. While her personality and playstyle are a lot different from Rose back in the good old Street Fighter 4 days, Menat as a whole feels like a good way of honoring Rose's character without directly including her in the roster.
Plus, it's kinda cute how she lovingly mimics her master in her story mode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
2. Mechanically speaking, Menat is something of a dream for a player like me. While not having an incredibly long list of tough-to-input combos and tons of attacks that chain together, there's a lot of strategy to using her effectively. I think new players can feel comfortable jumping in with her without feeling initially overwhelmed, but will eventually learn all of her nuances. She's a good example of easy to learn, but difficult to master.
Menat is a very unique character in those regards. She works through a combination of zoning and setups. Her main mechanic is to keep an eye on her sphere, as there are certain things she can only do depending on if she has it on hand or not. The sphere being out might help you set up a combo, but limits her anti-air capabilities, for instance.
Like the projectiles Menat can reflect seems to be dependent on whether or not she has the ball on hand, as the animations do differ.
And let's not forget about
Double ball action! That was less cool than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
3. Speaking of her animations, Menat's are just oozing with charm. I mean, just look at her walk cycle.
Being a belly dancing fortune teller, you can definitely tell interesting animations were going to be a big part of her character, and Capcom went above and beyond with Menat. I mean, you can often tell a lot about a Street Fighter character by the way that they carry themselves, and she is no different. Some of her poses are a little sexier, while some are just downright silly, allowing players to get a really good grasp of her character just watching her move while she fights. Were you listening at all?
Not even a little bit.
4. Well, if you had been listening, you'd know that I talked a little bit about Menat's charm. She's an endearing character with a lot of personality. We talked a little bit about how she mimicked Rose earlier, but the way she interacts with other characters stands out as well, as we can see from her victory dialogues.
She's quirky without being over-the-top kooky, which is a pretty tough line to balance on, and it's easy to see why so many people would like her. At first glance, Menat may seem like a very unusual addition to the roster, but seeing her face-to-face with the rest of the cast, she fits in just fine. 5. Let's talk costumes. Being a new character, Menat doesn't have quite as many costumes as some of the other characters, but I can't let that distract me from what she has on offer with her current costumes and colors.
While her original look is classic and stylized, her other costumes fit in equally well. Menat can really show off her sense of mysticism in her story costume.
And she can really show off some other stuff in her battle costume. That's my personal favorite.
Why's that?
Oh, you know, no real reason, I guess. Just neat. 6. She's so cute! Oh man! Just look at how adorable she is! Just look at her little face! I love her!
I'm surprised you made it all the way to 6 reasons before you're belting that one out.
You know what? Me too. Weird, huh?
Just remember that she's not your girlfriend.
Let's just move on. 7. One of the things I love about Menat is that she's a new character to the series. And you know me, I love playing as new characters in games like this. It's a big part of why Labris was my main in Persona 4 Arena.
Because you like Labris?
I like Labris, but I also like Menat. And I love how Capcom surprised us with her only a few days before she was officially released.
She did certainly come as a surprise. And after the past few characters being folks we knew from previous titles, or already anticipated their introduction as playable characters from their roles in various stories, Menat was a fresh, new, surprise addition all around, honestly.
8. Let's take a moment and discuss Menat's future potential. It's hard to talk about things we love when discussing things that don't exist yet, but I think we can all agree that being a new character leaves Menat with a lot of possibilities. She'll eventually get her own stage, and I'm very excited to see what role her powers of fate, fortune-telling, and belly dancing will play in the next story installment.
Just based on the information we get from her brief story prologue, Menat's role in the story mode is sure to shake things up. The foreshadowing of her interactions with M. Bison has me even more excited for the new story mode, and seeing just where Rose's apprentice will end up in the grand scheme of things.
9. Menat's voice actresses are positively amazing. In the Japanese and English versions of the game, Menat is voiced by Aoyuki and Erika Lindbeck, respectively. The exact same Japanese and English voice actresses who played Futaba Sakura in Persona 5, and I've already gone into a fair amount of detail regarding why I love her so much.
I'm not sure that really has anything to do with Menat.
Who wore it better, Menat or Shadow Futaba? Let us know in the comments below. And so there you have it, folks, 9 reasons why we love Menat.
From her design, playstyle, and personality, Menat stands out as a very interesting character who fits into the world of Street Fighter surprisingly well, and we're all very interested to see what comes of her down the road in both casual and competitive scenes.
If you can think of any reasons why you love the character that we didn't touch on in this video, feel free to let us know down in the comments. I want to give super special thanks to Leon for joining me today and providing his fighting game expertise to analyze the character a bit better. If you want to check out the work he's done, check out his podcast, EXPodcast, and send him a little love.
Also, check me out at ChooseMyOwnAdventurePodcast.com and fight me online. My PSN is ActionJackson.
So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.